Hey everybody, it's Rykard here again, back with another black and white Pokemon analysis. Today, we're going to be discussing the amplification Pokemon known as Rankurusu. So let's get started by taking a look at its typing, abilities, and stats. So first off, Rankurusu is a mono-psychic type, meaning it has weaknesses to Bug, Dark, and Ghost, and resists Psychic and Fighting. As for its abilities, the first one it gets is known as Dustproof, which is a unique ability that makes it so that you will not take any damage from weather effects. Fortunately, though, this Pokemon also gets Magic Guard as an ability, which is essentially just a better version of Dustproof, because it means you don't take any indirect damage, whether it be from toxic poison, burning, um, entry hazards, or weather effects. So really, Magic Guard is the ability to go with this Pokemon. As for its last ability, which it gets in the Dream World, it's known as Regeneration, which is a useful ability that allows you to heal a third of your HP every time you switch out. So that can be very useful in allowing this Pokemon to survive longer. However, Magic Guard, I believe, is still a superior ability in all regards. As for its stats, the first one, which is its HP, is at a very good 110, meaning that this Pokemon can have great HP and make use of its 75 defense and 85 special defense. So either way, this Pokemon can actually be fairly bulky if you want to put EVs into its physical defense or special defense, or even both. But its HP allows it to do that. As for its physical attack, it's at a pretty low 65, so really you're not going to be using many physical attacks with this Pokemon. Fortunately though, its special attack is at a really high 125, which means even if you don't put a lot of EVs into it, or any at all, it still has fairly impressive special attack, almost reaching 300 without any boosts. But if you do want to put a lot of EVs into special attack and max it out, this Pokemon will have ridiculously high special attack, so that's always a great thing, and makes it a very powerful special attacker. Lastly, its speed is at only 30, which is, I guess okay, but what's fortunate is that this Pokemon learns Trick Room, so you could easily make use of a Trick Room set if you want to use its really low speed to its advantage. And this obviously could work well on any other, or on any team involving Trick Room, because obviously you'll be using slow Pokemon, so you'll have fast Pokemon in reality when the dimensions are switched, or whatever it says. But that's it for its stats, so let's take a look at the first set in this video. So for this first set, it is basically one that allows Rankurusu to be one of the most useful dual screeners in the game. So first, we're going to give it a bold nature to increase its physical defense but lower its physical attack, and we're going to be using the ability Magic Guard to prevent any other unnecessary damage from hurting us. As for the EVs, we're going to put 252 into HP to give you your max HP, 128 into defense to give you some decent defense, and also 128 EVs into special defense to give you some decent special defense as well. And I believe both of those defense stats will be at around 200 after these EVs, so that's always a good thing. As for the item, since we are going to be dual screening, we're going to be using a light clay so that our screens will be set up for 8 turns instead of 5. But aside from the obvious light screen and reflect in the set, we're going to either be making use of Psychic or Psycho Shock as a very powerful Psychic type move to use if this Pokemon is able to easily attack without taking a lot of damage because of the screens being up or you resisting whatever they have to throw at you. But even though there are no EVs into special attack, as I said before, it's still pretty high. So a Psychic or a Psycho Shock will be doing good damage to whatever comes in or you're up against. And the reason why you can choose between either one is because Psychic will deal special damage, whereas Psycho Shock will deal physical damage, but it still takes your special attack, if you didn't know that. But basically, it's whichever one you want to, or you see as being more useful. But basically, if you want to have a chance against a Blissey or something like that, you should definitely go with Psycho Shock. And lastly, it's going to be using Recover to obviously heal up its HP, because we're not going to be using Regeneration as our ability to allow us to do that easily. But even though that is the case, your screens and your naturally high HP and defenses will allow you to easily take hits from anything and easily recover that damage back up, making this Pokemon incredibly useful at pretty much screening or setting up screens for the entire battle, since it's going to be so difficult to take down because of the EVs and recovery moves. So this is why I think Rankurusu is probably one of the best dual screeners ever, and why it's just a defensive wall in in some senses, because of the fact that it can do this so well. For this next set, we're going to be a little bit more attack based than the previous one, but still maintain some of the really good defenses that this Pokemon can make use of. So again, we're going to be using a Bold Nature and the ability Magic Guard, but for the EVs, 252 are going to be put into HP, 252 are going to be put into defense, and 4 into special attack, because this will give you your max HP and max physical defense. As for the item, we're going to be using leftovers this time to recover a little bit of HP at the end of every turn. For the moves though, first we're going to be making use of Calm Mind to increase our special defense and special attack by 1 stage. And this is great since we're really not putting any EVs into special attack or special defense, so this will allow us to not only increase the power of our attacking moves, but also increase our defenses on the special side, which will give this Pokemon really well-rounded defenses since we're max physical bulky. As for the attacking moves though, we're just going to be using a combination of Focus Blast and one of these special psychic moves, whether you want to deal physical or special damage with it. But basically this gives you the best type coverage you can get with this Pokemon. Psychic obviously can hit most things, but it's not able to hurt Dark or Steel, so that's where Focus Blast comes in handy, because it deals super effective damage to both of those types, as well as Rock and normal types. So it's really useful and will just give you some pretty good type coverage without really having to worry about anything resisting you. And then lastly, we're going to be using Recover again just to heal up HP and allow this Pokemon to last a while in battle. Lastly, we have probably the most blatantly offensive set you can run with this Pokemon, or at least in my opinion. So first, we're going to give it a Modest Nature to increase its special attack and lower its physical attack, and again, we're going to be making use of Magic Guard. As for the EVs, we're going to again be maxing out your HP, but an extra 4 going into your physical defense, and then we're going to be maxing out your special attack with 252 EVs into that stat. As for the item, it's really a toss-up for you, because leftovers will provide you some decent recovery at the end of every turn, because we're not using recovery in the set, or you can make use of a Life Orb because of the fact that the ability Magic Guard prevents any Life Orb recoil from occurring, and it will also power up your attack moves to be even more ridiculously powerful with your insanely high special attack. So it's really up to you which is more important, recovery or more power. As for the moves, the first one we're going to be making use of is a new move known as Telekinesis, which has some interesting properties to it. First, it makes your opponent levitate, so that means ground type moves can no longer hurt it, which is unfortunate, but since we're not using any ground type moves in this set, we're good. The other effect of it is that it allows all of your attacks to hit with 100% accuracy except for one-hit KO moves, so that's why we're able to make use of moves like Thunder and Focus Blast really easily, because of the fact that they'll always hit, and because of their low accuracy, we won't really have to worry about that. And they also are very powerful special moves in their type category. And Thunder always has the 30% chance of paralysis, which is great. So it's really just a combination of setting up by making them fly in the air and then just hitting them hard with whatever move you desire. And obviously the Psychic/Psycho Shock option is there, again, as a nice stab move to use with your high special attack. But that is pretty much it. If you have any other questions on Telekinesis, feel free to post them in the comments, because I can probably answer those. I know I didn't really go too much into detail about it right now, but I'm sure you could find those answers online too if you just look them up. But that's it for Rankurusu. I honestly love this thing, and it's really cute looking, and you can see, at least by the first set, that it can be a very defensive Pokemon that will survive for a while in battle. So I hope you guys like this video, so take care and goodbye.